Hello sports fans, welcome to Super Sports Central. Today we're going to be going over my second half predictions for the 2022 USFL season. So already it seems like it's been a short time, but already half the season of the USFL is over. And so we're going to be predicting the second half, every team's record, as well as my champion prediction. So currently the standings look like this. In the North, the Generals sit at number 1 with a 4-1 record. Next is the Stars with a record of 2-3. Panthers are in third at 1-4, and the Maulers sit in last with a 1-4 record. The teams in the South are much better. We have the undefeated Birmingham Stallions at 5-0 at the top. Then we have the Breakers and Bandits tied at 3-2. Breakers have the tiebreaker due to a head-to-head win. And finally, we have the Gamblers at 1-4 in last. So my second half predictions, starting off in the North. Coming in at number 4, I still see the Maulers there. They got their first win against the Gamblers. I think their ceiling is third. They may have found something in quarterback at Vadeli out of James Madison, who they signed. He played this week and ended up leading them to the win after they waived Josh Love. So he may be the future of the quarterback position for the Maulers. I think they're going to be improving, but I don't think I can give them another win due to their tough schedule. Maulers, I have them staying with one win, finishing the season at a record of 1-9. Next, we have the Panthers. They have a 1-4 record currently. So the Panthers have gotten off to a bad start, and I don't think they're going to be able to dig themselves out of this hole and make the playoffs, but I still think they're going to be able to show us they're headed in the right direction. Shea Patterson has looked better every week, and I don't see the record looking that great. I think they're going to finish 2-8, but the record will look that way because of a tough schedule. Same thing with the Maulers, but I do think the Panthers' quarterback play and play calling will continue to improve every week. Who knows? Maybe they can even finish 3-7, maybe even 4-6. But I don't see that happening. I have the Panthers coming 2-8. Next, we have the Philadelphia Stars. They're definitely pass first offense, and their quarterback Brian Scott is out with a knee injury, and he may be back later this season, but we really don't know his timetable. Backup quarterback Case Cookus has been pretty good for replacing him. And the Stars' defense, they could also be better. Their defense hasn't been great. But really, I think they're going to finish 5-5 after their 2-3 start. I think they could have gotten off to a better start. The offensive line play hasn't been there. They've allowed tons of sacks so far. But really, they're guaranteed to make the playoffs after just a decent start and the two other bad teams in the North Division. I have the Stars coming in at second and having a 500 record at 5-5. Next, we have the Generals. They're my favorite team, for those of you that don't know that. They've been great so far. The defense looks better and better each week. Quarterback DeAndre Johnson looks better throwing the ball, and just better overall each week. And going back to Johnson throwing the ball, they're letting him do that more each week, and I think he's looked pretty good doing it. And I think the Generals are going to phase out their two-quarterback system and have DeAndre Johnson become their one main quarterback. And I think that's also good because he's been improving through the air, and he's also a dynamic runner. So I think they have the potential to go 9-1 and undefeated for the rest of the season, but I do think they're going to drop a game and finish with an 8-2 record. So I have the Generals coming 8-2, Stars 5-5, Panthers in third at 2-8, and then Maulers at fourth at 1-9. On to my South Division predictions for the rest of the season. Coming in at number 4, we have the Gamblers. So I think they're going to end up at the bottom of the South Division as where they currently are. They're on a 4-game losing streak, and they only have a 5-point win against the 1-4 Panthers. They haven't won since week 1. The team has some good players, but they're just not good. Like, as a team, they're not good. They have a great ground game in Mark Thompson. Quarterback Clayton Thorson isn't that bad. Defense has Chris Odom, one of the sack leaders. They have cornerback Will Likely, but when you combine them together, there's definitely a missing piece there, and they haven't put it all together. I think they're probably getting an upset win somewhere along the way, ending with a record of 2-8. Next, we have a battle with the Breakers or Bandits for the third spot. The team that comes in second, or I should really say battle for the second spot. The team that comes in third will miss out on the playoffs, and the team that comes in second will clinch a playoff berth. So I have the Bandits coming in at number 3. They haven't looked as great as I thought they would look. I still think they're going to end the season with a pretty good record. 6-4, 7-3 range, but I'm going to go 6-4. Quarterback Jordan Teyamu got off to a little bit of a slow start, but I do think the Bandits are looking better. And I think they're going to definitely challenge the Breakers for that second spot and potentially make the playoffs. Next, we have the Breakers. They're a great team. They're one of the best statistical teams. They have a great offense and defense. Unfortunately, they are without running back TJ Logan because of an injury. They do have another great running back, and that is Jordan Ellis. They also have a great receiving core in tight end Sal Cannella. Wide receivers Johnny Dixon, Sean Poindexter, and several others. Jonathan Adams. And on the defensive side of the ball, they have one of the best pass rushers in the game, and that is Davin Bellamy. They've been great so far, and I think they're going to finish one game above the Bandits, finishing the season with a 7-3 record and making the playoffs. And lastly, we have the Stallions. They are the only undefeated team in the USFL. They have two quarterbacks they could win with, either Jamar Smith or Alex McGough. It seems like Smith is a little bit better at this point, but I still do like Alex McGough a lot. I think he's a great player. They have an elite defense and an amazing overall team. They're the only undefeated team in the league. I think they're definitely the best team in the league right now. I don't think they're going to end the season undefeated, but I think it's going to be very close. I think they're going to end the season at a 9-1 record, dropping a game to either the Breakers or the Bandits, specifically the Breakers. So on to my playoff predictions. But briefly recapping the South, we have the Stallions winning it at 9-1. Then we have the Breakers at 7-3, Bandits at 6-4, and Gamblers at 2-8. So playoff predictions in the North, we have the Generals and Stars. Two great teams. The Stars could really give the Generals a run for their money if they can get Brian Scott back and healthy. Obviously, he would have to be healthy to come back. I think the Generals will get the win. As I mentioned, the Generals' defense is improving, and the Stars' defense hasn't exactly looked amazing so far. So I have the Generals advancing to the championship game. In the South Division, we have the Breakers and the Stallions. So I do think the Breakers will be the team to beat Birmingham, as I said, but I do think the Stallions will get the win when it matters most, and that is in the playoffs to advance to the championship game, and set up a title game rematch between the Stallions and Generals. So, two outstanding teams. Two teams met in the season opener. They played a great game. Obviously, the Stallions got the win because they're the only undefeated team. Being a Generals fan, I would obviously want the Generals to get the win, but I just think the Stallions are just a little bit better. I think they're really, really good. They're definitely the team to beat, and they've just been really good so far. So I have the Stallions winning the USFL Championship in the 2022 season. So make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. That's going to do it for this video. Let me know in the comments if you agree with my predictions, disagree, and why. If there's anyone you disagree with, let me know what you disagree with and what you would have instead. If you don't disagree with anything, let me know who you have winning the championship, or what teams you have in the championship. So I have the Stallions over the Generals. So make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I do my best to post as often as possible, and I will see you in the next video.